everyone, welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today is another indie horror spotlight. We have Adam Freeman here. He's in the works of making a remake of a cult classic 1989 horror flick, metal horror flick, Scream Dream. Adam, how's it going, man? I appreciate you coming on.
Mhm. It's going really good. Just working on a lot of pre-production today. So it's been a little hectic, but we're getting a lot done.
Awesome, awesome. So tell everybody who has not seen the original, tell us a little bit about Scream Dream.
So Screen Dream is well, it stars Melissa Moore, and Miss Melissa Moore plays Jamie Summers, and she is auditioning for a role to replace a very famous singer who's into devil worshipping, and it's it kind of has that satanic panic vibe going on with it, but basically the lead singer, her name is Michelle Shock. She um is really angry that she's getting replaced. People have been going missing at her concerts, and there's a reason. Like she's doing things and rituals and sacrificing. So she gets replaced. So she's basically uh, places a curse to possess the body of Jamie, or whoever takes over as the lead, which is obviously Jamie Summers, and she starts turning into like this grueling monster who basically starts wreaking havoc and killing people close to her, and she's completely out of control, and she's possessed. um but with the remake, which is starring Aaron Brown, some people may know her as Misty Mundy. She is playing Jamie Summers in the remake, and we've kind of done a little bit of a different spin on it. We've got the same story, same characters. We just added a lot more to it. So instead of like Michelle kind of possessing her body, like we have that in there, but it's more that she summons this demon to kind of take hold and kind of run things, and she starts getting possessed that way. So it brings a little bit more of like the demon that they had in the original
Mhm.
out, as like a more of like a main character in the story as well.
Okay. Now, did you have to get permission, or are you working with the original creator?
Yes. So with that, a few years ago, I'd actually went. I've worked several times with the original director in other films as an actor, and the first time I worked with him, we worked on a film called Cannibal Hookers, and he knew right off the bat I was a huge Scream Dream fan. It was weird because when I was a kid, like I'm talking like way young, I would go to the video store and I would rent Scream Dream, and I would always rent the two other films, The Last Slumber Party and Terror at Tin Killer, like every weekend because it was like 5 movies, $5, 5 nights. I always got my favorites to watch them on the weekend, but that was one of those. And I grew up and I wound up working with Donald, which was uh, kind of odd how that happened, and I was so happy that it did. But I went to him and I told him I would really like to remake it. So I had originally wrote a script. It took me 8 months to write. I did it about 10 hours a day. I'd be putting into the script, just trying to make it perfect. And um, I turned it into him, and at first, um, it was a no, but not for like the script. It was just, at the time they decided he wasn't going to do a remake. And a few years later, after I'd worked with him some more on different films, I asked him again. I was like, "Is there any way that I can get these rights to this film?" And we worked out a deal, and we also worked it out with the distribution company that also owns the rights as well, and so we already have distribution for it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and it's been a fun ride with that. So and the really cool thing that I like about it is the distribution company has been really helpful with the film as well, and just checking up on things, wanting like what can they do to help us out. So that's really rare because even though this is my second film, that's something more that like distribution companies would do for a more established filmmaker, or someone who is constantly making films for them.
Hmm.
So that was really cool.
That is true, and that's a great to have that network that's working with
Yeah.
you is absolutely amazing. Now, um, you're shooting your film in um, Kentucky, correct?
Uh, there's a little bit of it in Kentucky.
Okay.
That's where some people who got like one of the perks off the campaign to get killed in the film and things like that. We're gonna do all that in Louisville, Kentucky. There's like one scene that we're shooting. It's like a studio scene, which has been a really interesting thing to get together. But the uh, the rest of it is going to be shot in Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this is the question that I ask all new directors. So, someone out there who's thinking about making their first horror movie, what are some challenges that you have ran into, and some advice you can give them?
Right. Yes. So, uh, with my experience from working on film, I started getting hired to come in on film and basically line produce films for people, especially like newer filmmakers who they knew what they wanted, but they didn't really know how to do it or what to do. So they would hire me, and I'd come in, and I'd get everybody, the cast, crew, editing, cinematographer, special effects. I would do it for them, and basically how I got into it versus like what some people can do. I was working at Starbucks years ago, and there was a really big actress that, well, to me, she's big. Her name is Dell Dickey. She's in Sorted Lives, TNT's Claws, Iron Man 3. She does a lot of like Hollywood films. And she was a lead with Jennifer Lawrence and Winter's Bone. So she was in really big films, but she was in Knoxville, Tennessee. And what it
Hmm.
was I believe her brother lived here, and she came here to see him, and she came in my store, and I immediately recognized her. And acting is something I always wanted to get into. So the what I would recommend is what she recommended to me was to go to an agency who teaches the craft. And you are always going to have a choice by the end, like if they do it right and they're legitimate, because that's one that's very important. And this one was, she knew exactly who the agency was. She says that they're the perfect place to learn the craft. And so I went to Gage Talent Agency. So I went to an agency, and for people who don't have that experience, they teach you everything you know. They go over contracts. They go over the different styles of acting. Um, they do imaginary monologues, which are my favorite thing to do. They
Hmm.
teach you how to do proper audition, which that's one of the biggest things in this industry. I think a lot of people, especially in the indie film scene, that they don't know how to do, because I have had a lot of people try to audition for me, whether it be on my projects or another project. And I think that that's something really important because, for example, like, someone is auditioning and they come in and they have, you know, heavy makeup on, eye makeup, and fishnet leather, and it's,
Hmm.
that's too much. You want to be a blank canvas for the people that you're auditioning for. So you want to come in with like little makeup, if you can, no makeup at all. If you've got long hair, pull it back up in a ponytail. You don't need to make it pretty. You don't need to fluff it out, curl
Hmm.
it, nothing like that. Put it in a ponytail. Wear a gray V-neck shirt, blue jeans, or like a black, just neutral colors, nothing written on it, and know who you are and like the product that you're representing. The product is you, but you want to be like, like, hello, my name is Adam Freeman. I'm represented by, you could say whatever agency, or I represent myself. I'm going to be
Mhm.
auditioning for, and then go into your audition. But take that pause in between. It's really important because that really impresses a lot of people. And I know it impresses me when I do get that from people who do it professionally for me. Um, but that's one of the big ones. Second off is when you learn your craft, whether you go to an agency or you get someone to teach the craft to you, you need to find what you are interested in. Are you interested in doing, SAG films, indie films? I personally like indie more than I would ever want to do SAG.
Mhm.
Um, I have my own reasons, but I wouldn't say that live. But
You
I
can if you want
wouldn't.
to.
I, there's just a lot that goes into that. And there's a thing called FICOR, which is forbidden to talk about. But there's so many people who are FICOR. That means that you're allowed to work in indie and you're allowed to work in SAG films.
Okay.
Um, but what that does is like it just gets you more work. You lose some of the benefits to being in SAG. So you got to know where you want to take your career, and you've got to kind of look into it. Now, I wanted to work in the horror industry, so obviously the indie horror community, it's always very welcoming, and sometimes you have the good ones and the bad ones. And sometimes you get filmmakers who want to make a film and they might screw up the first time, and it's going to happen. But it doesn't mean that they're necessarily a bad person or anything like that. It happens. So it's just all about a learning experience. If you want to make film, um, I would say just pick up your camera and go out. You can take your phone and make something really cheap just as a learning process, because you learn different angles, different lighting, what you're capturing on screen. Um, you know, it's not hard to make the movie. It's the process is getting everything together for it. So
Yeah.
it's I think practicing on a phone for camera and editing as well, like editing stuff together, that's just kind of, you don't need all the school for it. Um, but yeah, that's how you kind of get into it. Now, when I went to the agency, Dell told me, she's like, don't sign with an agency. Do it independently and do what you want to do. And I
Really?
was like, yeah, she told me that. And I mean, she's working in, like, I don't know if you saw Claws with Niecy Nash. That's like my
Hmm.
absolute favorite show.
Oh yes, I
She's a,
have. Yes, on TBS.
you have,
Yeah.
yeah, she is one of the leads in the show all the way throughout. So I mean, she's getting really big stuff and just wonderful projects. And I don't know if she has an agency now, but I know like 5 years ago when she was still in the big projects, like she was like doing it independently. So
Wow.
and it you can go to, I think it's called Backstage or something like that, and they have like the
Yeah.
auditions. And the more you learn your craft, the more that you know how to do acting, and you realize like everybody thinks that they have to be like beautiful on screen. That's the thing. No. One of the guys at the agency he was smoked a lot. He was really rugged looking, had the wrinkles, white hair. He looked rough, really rough, but
Mhm.
he was getting hired for absolutely everything because of that look. So you don't have to look like Marilyn Monroe or James Dean. You can
'Cause it's a
have
part for everyone.
exactly. And that's what I try to tell everyone, because everyone that I've talked to is always so hard on themselves,
Mhm.
So that's the big thing to remember as well.
But the other thing is too, not everybody can be the leading man or leading woman, and like you
Yeah.
gotta be real with yourself about that. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so do you have a release date set up for Scream Queen
For Scream
or a
Dream,
potential Scream Dream? I'm sorry.
uh not yet. Not yet. The pre-production is one thing, post-production is another.
Hmm.
That's always kind of like the fun part though, because you get to see everything come together. But there's always changing, editing, recoloring, um, things like that, and you never really know how long it's going to take. I know my last film with Deadly Dealings, it was such a process, and I know that I drove Roman Jossart absolutely crazy. Trying to, I'd be like, okay, I want to change this, I want to change that, I want this recolored, like the outside scenery. I know one of them I was like, I want the grass pink, pinkish red, and I want the trees pinkish red, and I want the sky kind of like a light pink, you know?
Mhm.
Sure enough, he was able to do it, but, it's just things like that. I know that takes a lot of time, to do, and, like, we would film stuff in the daytime, and he would take it and cut out the sky, put in a nighttime sky, having like shooting stars or meteor shower in the background. We'd add a moon.
Nice.
We would recolor the town to make it look at night, and there was a lot of activity, like cars and stuff going by over a bridge. We had the drone shots, So there's a lot that goes into it. It just depends, kind of like, I think, what all we're gonna do, because if if you if you know or have seen any of my work, especially on like other films that I've done too. Mostly on my last one, I was able to really get control of it, but I am extremely particular and extremely detailed. So
Mhm.
I have to choose like all the makeup, all the wardrobe, down to the jewelry that they're wearing. If they're in underwear, I've got to choose the underwear that they're wearing. I've got to absolutely choose everything. Hairstyle, just what color
Everything.
eye makeup are you going to be wearing? What are your nails going to look like? And I really kind of pair. I give everyone a color scheme. So I choose pastel color scheme, and then with the lighting, I do a lot of pink, purple, and blue lighting. I do a lot of fog effects to make sure that it's really ethereal, really delicate, light colored. Like, I have a very specific way that I want to make my films look. So, like, if you've seen kind of like maybe like the poster or something on there, I released a
Mhm.
new poster for Deadly Dealings today, and that's exactly what I'm pulling off, is that light, delicate pastel look.
I
Um,
saw the poster because it's the woman's actual features. She's actually moving her lips and everything. I was like, that's pretty cool.
yeah, I've been playing with animation a little bit.
Hmm.
Not much, but I'm just like, it's kind of interesting to see how it works. And I'm learning through it an app that you literally you can choose like how many it is how many seconds and how many like frames there is, and then you can put in what they're supposed to say, and you can choose a voice, and
Really?
you can dub the voice and use your own voice. There's different apps for editing as well, but I know that one of the galaxies, it's like the top of the line galaxy, I can't think of it right now. It has film editing on it, and so you can actually edit a film as well. I was looking at that on um, Steve's phone because he has it, and I was like,
Whoa.
"Oh, that's cool." I should have got that, but I didn't. But so I'm using the apps, and the apps are kind of fun, and a lot of them have free trials that you can try stuff on, or you can just buy them outright and own them. So I've been doing that to kind of learn different technique as well. So.
Now let's shoot over to music. So the original had a great heavy metal soundtrack. Are you going to do the same fix?
Yes. We got Slasher Boy. I believe I got that right. Slasher Boy, which Roman Jossart is actually I believe the lead singer of that band, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
and he was my cinematographer for my last film. Which I was kind of I knew that he was a part of a band, and I knew it was Slasher Boy, but I guess it just didn't register because I was talking to Dixie Gares for to get music, and she was talking to Tom Commissar, who I guess is I don't know if he's over the band. I'm kind of, I don't really know everyone in the band yet.
Yeah.
So I will meet them when I am on set. But they Tom and then they wrote lyrics to the song, and it's called Dreamscape, and it is like an 80s heavy metal, like a classic heavy metal song is what it sounds like, but it's
Hmm.
actually written and made today. Um, I know right now, Roman sang the song. They recorded it in the same, like the studio they work in is the same studio that the Foo Fighters record in.
Wow.
So it's done very professionally. Um, and that place is in Ohio. So it's yeah. So that's where he lives. So that they recorded and did the music up there for us, and Roman did the sang the song. So I'm having Erin learn the lyrics, and we're gonna have her actually sing and perform the whole song um, on set.
Okay.
So
It's exciting.
yeah.
That's exciting. All right. So let's do something fun. All right. I'm gonna ask you some random questions. I'm gonna ask you three
Okay.
random questions about horror.
Okay.
If you could work with any iconic horror actor or actress, who would it be?
Oh, that would have to be Bruce Campbell.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, it would, and that's that. I would have to say that would be for the actor. I would have to say that. If you wanted an actress, ugh, I would have to say either Edwige Fenech or Anita Strandberg, Italian
Those are
giallo
great choices.
actresses. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Great
those,
choices.
I am an avid collector of all things Evil Dead. I even have part of the cabin in there. And then I love Italian giallo, and I'm a massive collector of Edwige Fenech films and Anita Strandberg films. So,
That's awesome. All right. Let's go over to the next question, which is, all right. So you're doing a remake.
mm,
If you could remake any iconic cult classic horror movie, if you could do another one, which one would it be?
mm,
If
I
money
would
wasn't an
do.
issue, you had a unlimited budget.
I would probably do either The Last Slumber Party. I
Okay.
really like that movie, or Sorority House Massacre 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
but I would retitle it Naughty Nightmare, like it was originally titled during the
Hmm.
making it. But yeah, I absolutely love that movie.
Good choices. And the final question is, who was your favorite horror movie character growing up?
Who is my favorite horror movie character?
Was it Freddy? Was it Jason? Was it Michael Myers?
Ooh, um, hmm. I would have to say it's always been Ash from The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Um, I just really like that character, and I like how he was a final boy. Not technically, but he kind of is since you made it a trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that. And I think what I like about it too is so often, and I bring this up a lot, is when you look at guys in like the older 80s films and stuff, a lot of times their deaths were really quick, extra. Whereas the female they chase, they get thrown out a window or jump out of a window, and it's like these long elaborate death scenes. But with Ash, it was always different. It's like he's tormented this whole film throughout, the
Hmm.
whole trilogy. But at the same time, we've got this wit about him that I just really like. So,
Yes. I mean, there's definitely. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan.
oh
Um,
yeah,
uh, I even like their remakes for their own purpose, but like you toss. I love the Ash versus Evil Dead show that was on
yes.
Star. I'm sad that they canceled that. I love that show.
Yeah. I kind of look at that as
And
like a like three movies in one.
yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's a
And
great choice. I love Ash. Great character.
we have to bring up Lucy Lawless is in that. Xena.
Yes.
God, as a kid, me watching Xena, that was like my hero growing up. And then she's in the Evil Dead universe. I'm like, this gets even better. Like it just got better with the show.
And she was a badass villain too.
Yeah, she is. She was
She was
amazing.
a badass villain.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw her. I think it was Spartacus that she was in. I think that was a show. I was very shocked. I would say because that show showed absolutely everything, and it showed absolutely, and I was just like, no, my childhood's ruined. But it is what it is.
Oh, she showed everything on her show.
Oh, she shows a lot, yeah. And Jonathan from The Mummy, if you remember Evie's brother, the one with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Yes.
He's in that, and they're doing a lot of stuff in that, yeah. And I was just like, wow. But I was glad to see that she was back on screen because she needs to be. So
yeah. I'm shocked that she does. I go to a lot of horror conventions and Comic Cons. I'm shocked that I never see her there during signings.
Right? I would think that she would definitely do that. I know, thinking about it, like I totally forgot I had this. I have like a little piece of her costume, like her actual get up that she wore in Xena in here, and then I have a piece of Gabrielle's as well.
Nice.
I totally forgot I had that until just now. So
yeah, I mean, because I see Kevin Sorbo, who played Hercules,
and he does a lot of appearances.
He does a lot of conventions. He also does a lot of like religious conventions too, which
yeah,
it is what it is. But like Bruce Campbell, he had what was it called, Briscoe County. He had his own show.
Did he?
Yeah, it was called Briscoe something.
I probably missed that, and
yeah, and then
I sadly missed that. But he what was that one? Bubba Hotep. I love that movie.
Bubba Hotep was a great one. Where he was an Elvis person. Most people haven't seen that one.
Right, and it's not it's got humor, but it's such an odd humor. It's a weird humor, like weird. When I first watched it, I hate it, and then I like it thinking about it now.
My younger sister, I was in high school and she brought that movie home, and she actually bought it and she loved that movie, and I was like, this movie is a piece of shit. but it actually grew on me over time.
Yeah, it definitely grows on you. It does, especially Ash playing that character, and then Intruder. I don't know if you watched Intruder. He was in it like a little bit, but I still love that movie, and the fact that some of the makers from the Evil Dead was on that, I do like that movie a lot too.
I keep forgetting that Bruce Campbell was in Maniac Cop also.
Everyone tells me to watch Maniac Cop. I'm sadly have not seen that yet.
First one's great. Second one's piece of crap.
I know it's on Tubi. I need to check it out.
Yeah, man. You definitely, if you're a Bruce Campbell fan, he does. Serious Bruce Campbell. It's like serious Bruce Campbell.
Now, I will say what everyone needs to check out, and if you haven't, do it if you're an Evil Dead fan. But Within the Woods, it was the pitch film that Sam Raimi made with Bruce Campbell and Ellen Sandwich, which played his sister in The Evil Dead, the one that gets in the cellar, but their roles are reversed. And it's not released. I'm not gonna lie, I bought a bootleg just so I didn't have to keep wasting my phone data on that, because I do watch it often, but it's not really out there. But I was able to get a hold of Sam Raimi's I think it was 16 millimeter film, or is it 8 millimeter? It's his films that he made before The Evil Dead. Like I'm talking like shot on it just looks horrible. Now it looks horrible because it's not been taken care of. But like there's like a killer lawnmower where the lawnmower just goes all over the neighborhood and kills everyone and runs over a poodle and cotton balls come out of it. Like it's funny. But they're really interesting and they're really good. And I was able to get a copy of the Within the Woods, and that way I own it. I can have it. but it's not got the best picture quality, but you can find it on YouTube if you want to really watch it. But it's interesting to see Ellen as the lead, as the Ash
Hmm.
character, and Bruce Campbell gets possessed, and that's kind of interesting. He does it really, really well. I kind of have wondered what it would be like if they had kept those roles the
Yeah.
same when they made the Evil Dead. It probably would have been a totally different film. But I really don't think that you can beat Ellen's performance in The Evil Dead because she had so little to work with, and she's in that small hole, but yet she's terrifying, you know.
Hmm.
But he is pretty petrifying as a deadite.
See, now I gotta check that out now. I'm definitely gonna
Oh yeah,
check that
it's
out.
good.
So, Adam, where can everyone find you?
I am on Facebook under Adam Freeman, and I have an Instagram called the Scream King 90, and I did that because I won my last film. I won an award for Best Scream King, which I did not anticipate getting that, but
Nice.
I was really happy to get the title. And yeah, so I'm on there. I do have a website. I rarely check it though, but I do keep it up. And if a film comes out, I'll put it on there with a link where you can buy the films at. Currently, right now, if anybody's looking for my films, which I've had a few people recently in the past couple months, they've been getting copies of my last film. I do have it on eBay, and the distribution company picked up the DVD. They didn't want the Blu-ray. So worldwide, the DVD will be released later.
Sweet, sweet. Well, Adam, thank you for coming on. It's been a blast. I would like to have you back on when your movie is actually you got a release date, so I can take a look at it and we can talk about it and ask you a whole
Awesome.
bunch of questions about it, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Well, everyone, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.